This isn't just another turboprop. The TBM 980 flies like a light jet, and pilots can't stop talking about it. Daher's new TBM 980 combines blistering speed, intuitive jet-level avionics, and passenger comfort that rewrites what a turboprop can do. The TBM series has always carried a reputation for punching way above its weight. Single engine, high performance, sleek. These planes aren't just machines, they're a statement. Ever since Daher introduced the original TBM, pilots have loved the mix of speed and reliability, the ability to zip across continents without feeling like you're cramped in a small cockpit. Now, the TBM 980 steps into the spotlight as the latest evolution of the 900 series. At first glance, it might look like its predecessors, but every panel, every screen, every control has been rethought. Certification by both EASA and FAA means it meets the highest safety and performance standards in the world. No shortcuts, no compromises. And deliveries are already starting, putting this jet-like turboprop into the hands of pilots who've been waiting for a machine that feels modern without losing that raw TBM personality. What's fascinating is how Daher manages to balance performance and finesse. The 980 isn't about flashy gimmicks. It's about creating a cockpit that feels alive, responsive, and incredibly intuitive. Longtime TBM fans know that these planes have always delivered on speed, up to 330 knots at altitude. But now, with the latest iteration, even the way you interact with the aircraft feels like a flight deck straight out of a light jet. Pilots and passengers alike are noticing the difference. It's subtle, but it's there, in every switch, every display, and every mile flown. Just when you think you know what a TBM can do, the 980 raises the bar, blending heritage and innovation in a way that makes it impossible to ignore. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did? Okay, cool. Now back to the planes. And here's where things get absolutely wild. Step into the cockpit of the new TBM 980, and it feels almost like you've wandered into a light jet, not your usual turboprop flight deck. Gone are the cluttered panels and oceans of little buttons. Instead, this plane greets you with three massive 14-inch edge-to-edge touchscreen displays that blend into the panel like giant tablets built right into the airplane's soul. These aren't just big screens. They're responsive, smooth, and built for the way humans actually interact with tech today. Imagine launching your flight plan, adjusting radios, checking weather, and even handling procedures with a quick tap or swipe, just like you would on a phone or tablet. That's the Garmin G3000 PRIME philosophy. Let your fingers do the flying, not just your eyes scanning tiny knobs and switches. This isn't a gimmick. It's a design shift that makes every minute in the cockpit feel more natural and intuitive. But here's something pilots aren't just noticing, they're talking about it. The G3000 PRIME interface is app-based, sort of like the home screen of your smartphone. Instead of burying functions inside deep menu trees, you've got clear shortcuts, radios, transponder, flight plan, checklists, all accessible without that old-school menu diving that used to drive you crazy when you're busy flying. It's a game changer under workload. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did? Okay, cool. Now back to the planes. And speaking of checklists, here's a little twist you don't see coming. Old avionics had a checklist button buried somewhere, and flipping through procedures used to be a hunt and peck experience. Now, in the TBM 980, Garmin ditched that old button and replaced it with a 4-position joystick. It sits right where your thumb rests, letting you scroll, select, and confirm actions without ever lifting your hand. Think about that. Instead of interrupting a flight sequence to fumble for a button, you just slide and click like you're gaming. And pilots love this because it's not just flashy tech, it's practical. When you're on final approach, dealing with weather updates, ATC, and aircraft systems all at once, the last thing you want is to hunt through menus. With G3000 PRIME's streamlined interface, you're reducing cognitive load. You're less distracted, more in control, and you can spend more time flying. Let's talk awareness for a second. In aviation, situational awareness is everything. You need clear visuals of terrain, skies, traffic, weather, all of it, without feeling buried. That's why Garmin built multi-touch capability into the displays, so both pilots can interact with the same screen at the same time, making decisions together without swapping control or scrambling for a knob. This setup isn't just slick, it's fast. No laggy buttons, no delay scrolling through submenus. The interface is punchy, responsive, and crisp. Exactly what you want when you're balancing workload and airspeed at altitude. The display logic actually feels like it was built for pilots who grew up with touch tech, not buried behind rows of outdated hardware. And here's a little secret most pilots whisper about when they step out of the cockpit. The experience feels less like flying an old turboprop and more like commanding a modern jet. That's big, not because it's a stretch, but because it signals how far avionics have come. The control environment isn't just updated, it's transformed. But it's not all flash. Those big screens serve a mission. They boost safety and reduce workload. That's partly because of how the G3000 PRIME centralizes data entry and flight deck management. Instead of juggling different panels and knobs, everything you need is under your fingertips, logically grouped and intelligently presented. Think of it like a cockpit that thinks ahead of you, not just responds after you tap a button. Another subtle but important detail. The image quality and clarity on these screens are significantly improved over previous systems, which matters when you're glancing at maps or weather displays at high altitude under bright sunlight. Clarity is confidence. Pilots tell you that again and again. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever flown with an avionics suite that felt like it anticipated what you needed next? Because a lot of pilots are saying that's exactly the vibe they get with G3000 PRIME, a system that doesn't just react, but helps guide decisions. That's what makes this avionics package more than just new tech. It's a shift in how pilots think about flight deck interaction. So when people ask why everyone is talking about the TBM 980, this suite is a huge part of the answer. Touchscreen controls, smart interface, intuitive navigation, and a cockpit that feels alive. It's like the plane finally speaks the pilot's language.
On se retrouve dans un monde où on va pouvoir, via des applications, interagir avec les systèmes et toutes les fonctionnalités de l'avion.
Plus accessible, plus intuitif, plus structuré, plus facile, G3000 PRIME est vraiment une évolution majeure.
Just when you thought this plane was only about pilot tech, that's where it surprises you again. But this time for everyone on board. In the TBM 980, in-flight connectivity isn't an afterthought. It's built into the DNA of the cabin. You can optionally equip a Starlink mini satellite internet terminal right in the aircraft, so long cross-country flights don't feel like stepping back into the dial-up era of air travel. Instead of being cut off at 25,000 feet, you can stay connected like you're still on the ground. And if that sounds like a gadget you'd only care about on long trips, wait until you hear about the cabin power setup. There are 100-watt USB-C power ports designed specifically for passengers to charge phones, tablets, laptops, everything you need to keep humming through weather updates, messages, or even streaming something on the way up. But wait, it gets more sophisticated. The TBM 980 isn't just about plugging in. It comes ready for a suite of subscription-based digital services that bring the outside world into the cockpit and cabin at once. We're talking Garmin PlaneSync for remote aircraft status, Garmin Pilot and ForeFlight apps for serious navigation, Jeppesen Aviation databases, and even Sirius XM weather and audio services, all of which feed real-time data into your flight prep and planning. Imagine this. You're cruising, the weather ahead is shifting. You tap into live radar updates from Sirius XM, adjust the plan in ForeFlight, and pepper a friend with photos mid-air, all without losing a beat. That's the shift from old-school flying to connected flight operations that feel downright modern. For passengers, it means flights aren't just transit. They're productivity time, entertainment, or business connections, uninterrupted by altitude. For missions, whether corporate hops or critical operations, real-time data dramatically improves decision-making and situational awareness. Just when you thought the TBM 980 was all about looking sleek and feeling smart, it backs up the attitude with serious muscle. Under the cowling sits the Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6E66 XT Intelligent Turboprop engine. And intelligent isn't just a marketing word. It's a real FADEC-controlled power plant that manages both engine and propeller with precision. It's the same heart that powered the popular TBM 960, and here it feels like a finely tuned beast, responsive, smooth, and ready to climb. Connected to that engine is a 5-blade Hartzell composite propeller, designed not just for thrust but for balance, reducing vibration and noise while optimizing takeoff, climb, and cruise performance. It's the combo that gives the TBM 980 crisp acceleration out of the pattern and a steady, confident cruise once you're above turbulence. But the numbers tell the story best. With a maximum range of 1,730 nautical miles, this turbine rocket lets you plan hops that would make even some light jets pause before departing. You're talking transcontinental legs with minimal stops. And that's real freedom in general aviation. And here's a detail that delights pilots. The TBM 980 operates on a PRIST-free fuel system, meaning you don't have to mess with anti-icing additives anymore. It simplifies logistics and keeps operations cleaner while still protecting the engine in cold conditions. Compared to older TBM versions, the performance feels familiar, yet elevated. Same trusted powertrain, but smoother delivery and efficiency where it counts. It's the classic TBM speed and range, just balanced with modern touches that make every flight feel purposeful and effortless. And here's the part that really changes the conversation for pilots. Safety isn't just a checklist on the TBM 980, it's woven into every second you're in the air. At the core of this is Daher's EcoPilot suite, a cluster of smart technologies that constantly watches what's happening around you. It's not just automation for automation's sake. It's situational awareness that keeps you ahead of the big moments. You've got advanced weather detection, flight envelope monitoring, icing protection, and a built-in emergency descent mode that reacts fast when things get unexpected. Then there's the headline feature everyone is talking about: Home Safe Emergency Autoland. Imagine in a worst-case scenario, pilot incapacitation, and the airplane takes over, picking a suitable airport, managing descent, communicating with systems, and landing on its own. That level of autonomous backup isn't common in single-engine turboprops, and having it on board gives everyone a layer of confidence that's hard to put into words. Weather on the route doesn't just show up as blips. The TBM 980 comes with Garmin's GWX8000 all-digital radar with storm optics technology. It automatically adjusts to profile storm cells in rich 3D, giving pilots a clearer picture of what's ahead. Lightning, hail, even turbulence signatures. That means less guessing and more informed flying. These systems don't replace human skill. They support it. They reduce workload, filter distractions, and keep pilots focused on flying safely and smartly. Whether you're a seasoned pro or flying solo under Part 135, this suite brings reassurance that every flight is watched over by eyes that never tire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the TBM 980.
I came to Tarbes in the southwest of France today, where Daher is introducing a brand new member of its TBM aircraft family.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. And honestly, this is the part that has corporate flight departments and charter operators leaning in. The TBM 980 isn't just another shiny turboprop. It's suddenly relevant in markets that used to be dominated by light jets. That's because its connectivity and jet-like avionics aren't just for show. They create operational advantages that were previously only found in much more expensive aircraft. Think real-time weather, live database updates, remote monitoring, and a cockpit that behaves more like a business jet than a classic prop plane. This is a huge shift in perception. In conversations with pilots and operators, one thing comes up over and over. Professional users are starting to consider the TBM instead of a light jet for missions that don't absolutely require two engines. The reason? The Advanced Avionics Suite gives precision, speed, reliability, and situational awareness that push it closer to the performance envelope of small jets, and at a fraction of the operating cost. Even Part 135 operators, the folks running charter and air taxi services, are paying attention. The CEO of Daher Aircraft has openly mentioned that the combination of high-end avionics, connectivity, and automation could make single-pilot operations acceptable in situations where previously you'd need two crew members. That's a huge deal in an industry always chasing efficiency and safety. And here's a wild twist. The TBM has already proven itself in non-traditional roles. It's been selected as a firefighting bird dog aircraft, guiding larger tankers into wildfires. That's a highly professional, mission-critical application that shows this plane isn't just for weekend trips. It's capable of handling real, demanding operations. So what does this all mean? Corporations, charter companies, professional operators, and even specialized mission users are starting to see the TBM 980 as a serious contender, not just a fast toy for owner pilots. That's why demand is heating up, and why everyone from business flyers to mission planners is taking notice. Let's put this in perspective. Compared to its immediate predecessors, like the TBM 960 or TBM 940, the 980 doesn't just add a few new toys, it reframes what the cockpit experience feels like. Earlier models had capable avionics and strong performance, but the latest Garmin G3000 PRIME suite, with its 3 large touchscreens and app-style interface, represents a leap forward that pilots describe as more intuitive and modern. Here's the kicker. That same suite isn't available as a retrofit for older TBMs because it isn't cost-effective for the operator, which means if you want this level of avionics, you're looking at a new 980. That creates a natural demand for new buyers who want the latest tech without compromise. In direct terms, the G3000 PRIME feels closer to what you'd find in a light business jet than on past TBMs. And that's a narrative shift. Older Garmin avionics were good, solid, reliable tools. But this newest generation delivers sharper interfaces, faster responsiveness, and integration designed for modern workflows. All of which matter when you're flying high-tempo missions or carrying passengers with jet expectations. And that's why the TBM 980 is suddenly on everyone's radar. It blends turboprop efficiency with jet-like avionics and connectivity that expand its appeal far beyond traditional owners. So, what's your take? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. I've got way more coming your way.